Hey everyone, this is just a quick tutorial on tenths for piano. I'm making this for a student and I thought this might be helpful to other folks out there. My student and many other students I've worked with have small hands, and so playing tenths can be really tricky. Getting that wide interval can be challenging at first. For folks with smaller hands, you know what I'm talking about, even just getting an octave can be a bear. So this is a way to approach playing tenths as arpeggios in a way that's not going to create tension in your hands and allow you to play in a relaxed manner. So a good exercise to do is take the chords of a scale, right? So over in C major, doing the major 1, the minor 2, the minor 3, the major 4, the major 5, the minor 6, the 7 diminished, and the major 1, right? And instead of doing them as block chords like that in a closed position of root, third, fifth, doing them as root, fifth, third, we say a tenth because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scale degrees above scale degree 1, right? So what we're going to do is this voicing, but instead of playing all the notes together like that, we're going to go ahead and break it up into an arpeggio. One of the keys in this, and these are just some pitfalls to avoid, is a lot of students I've worked with, when they're working on tenths, particularly those with smaller hands, will contort their wrist in this direction to try and accommodate that motion. It's really important that you don't do that. You want to make sure that your wrist stays relaxed, and you're not contorting it to play an arpeggio, right? You should be able to keep the wrist generally in this motion. The key is in this rocking or arcing motion, right? So two different fingering patterns we're going to use. We're going to do pinky, fifth finger, pointer, second finger, and thumb, right? So we're going to do 5, 2, 1. Now notice what I'm doing. I play 5. As soon as I play the 2, I'm almost bouncing using the energy from this part of my hand to move up and pivot up to the 10th with my thumb. A big part of this too is the gap between your second finger and your first finger. Notice I have a lot more space there, right? So use that to your advantage. Again, this arcing motion. Just practice it a few times with one chord. You can do a rhythm of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Right? Once you get comfortable with that, do continuously as eighth note triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Now, once you get comfortable doing that with just a one chord, right, just like a C major triad, do all the chords in the key and walk up. So we're going to do C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C, right? So I'll do that first as the eighth notes. 1 and 2, rest. 1 and 2, rest. Keep that same rhythm going and make sure that you're keeping this relaxed. If you feel any tension in your fingers, your wrist, or your forearm, evaluate what you're doing. Make sure you're doing this arc. Right? Now when you get comfortable with that, go ahead and do triplets. Start with 4 for each chord. So 4 triplets in a row. Aim to be even. Notice how I'm jumping or bouncing off the thumb. Avoid accents. Make sure everything's really even. If you can play soft, you have good control. Don't just hammer them out. Once you're comfortable with that, do sequences of 3, 2, and then finally we're only doing one of each chord. Same rhythm. Right? right? And again, an even sound, a couple of those, my thumb popped out a little bit with some accents, so really aim for evenness. Now, notice that we're only using one elevation, white keys, which are sea level, right? We want to think about the black keys as well, right? Which are hills and mountains, right? So don't just practice this exercise in C major. Practice it in other keys. So, a great example would be the key of A major. We're still going to use the same chords, right? The major 1, the minor 2, the minor 3, the major 4, the major 5, the minor 6, 7 diminished. Just got a little out of frame there, and the major 1. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to start on A major and work our way up. I'm still going to do that pattern of 5, 2, 1, right? And I'm going to really think about staying relaxed and bouncing, that arcing motion. No tension in the wrists, no tension in the fingers, no tension in the forearms. Right? Now, we talked about this fingering, 5, 2, 1. Let's talk about another, which is 5, 3, 1. Right? This can also be very effective. Right? The key is make sure that you're not contorting your wrist or your fingers in a strange way. Right? Make sure that you're arcing in a way that's comfortable and relaxed. If you feel any tension, stop what you're doing and look at what your fingers are doing. Again, this is just a quick tutorial video. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me. Happy practicing and good luck.